If you're planning to delay your retirement, keep in mind that the financial and personal costs of waiting might surprise you, and it may cost you more than you think. There's a lot of people that come to us that want to retire early, or they have a date in mind, but they said, I might work one more year. We've had to see this for a lot. When we approve them to go retire early, let's say we're retiring at 60 or 62, they get close to their 60th birthday and then they start getting cold feet. Well, I know the numbers look good, but maybe I'll go to 61. Maybe I will just go to 62. It just looks better. And working longer is always going to look better on paper. Every year we work, we get to collect our salaries another year. We get to put more money away into our retirement accounts. We get closer to our Social Security ages, so our retirement savings doesn't necessarily have to bridge or last as long before other guaranteed income sources start coming in. We get closer, honestly, to the end of our lifetime. Therefore, our money doesn't have to last as long either. So every year we delay, we're also delaying cutting years off retirement, and it's less years that our retirement accounts actually have to last for. We also get to put our delayed Social Security and actually contribute into it for one more year. So there's always going to be better and better and better when you look at it on paper. And if that's your case, then never ever retire. Work till you're 80 and you'll have like the best retirement ever, because you're going to have all these years stacked up for your pension. Your Social Security is going to be maxed out. You're going to have a lot more money in your retirement accounts. But at that point, most of your life has gone by, and it's not as good in your 80s as it is in your 60s to be retired. There's a lot less things that you can actually do or have the energy for at that time. So delaying your retirement costs you the greatest resource of all, and that's your time. Time is the one thing you can't get back. Once it's gone, it's gone. You can always go back to work, make more money, and stuff like that after you retired, but just simply delaying it because you're scared of the unknown, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot in terms of time. We all don't know how much time we have left, and the longer we keep on working, we're not only cutting out retirement years short, cutting out the good years. Retirement comes in phases. Your early years, late 50s, maybe into your early 70s, those are your go-go years. When you still have the energy, your knees are still in good shape, where you can still go and do stuff. You can travel and all that. Once people start getting past their 70s, they start going to their slow-go years, where they can still get around. It's just not as fast, or they don't have the desire to do as much anymore. And then later on in retirement, those are the no-go years. That's when you're pretty much stay at home, don't really travel as much anymore. Those are the no-go years. So every year you give up of early retirement, you're cutting out the good part of the retirement years. And the truth is, if you knew when the end of your lifetime was, you wouldn't have any hesitation to possibly retiring earlier or doing what you finally want to do, to be free to make your own choices and do what you want. Now, we don't know that. That's what makes financial planning and all the decisions really hard. But I always like the saying or that song, you want to live like it's your last day. So it's important to plan that way. And if you have the ability to retire early, I often suggest that you really look into that option. If you still love what you're doing, or you don't have the money, your situation is just different where you can't retire early, then that's another story. In those cases, yeah, we have to work. But for those that have put in the time, have saved the money, and are just keep working for whatever reason, and they're not really enjoying anymore, those are the people I always want to stress to retire early. I've had a few clients that had some arbitrary goal in mind, like I can't retire until I have X dollars saved. I need to have 500,000 in plan 3. I need to have $1 million saved. And they kept working until they hit those goals. And they retired till they're 63, 67, 68. And these are guys that had 30 years in the education system. They could have pulled the trigger at 62 and been sitting on a beach for 7 full years early, but they decided to keep working for this arbitrary number. Now they get there, they retire, their expenses are only $3,000-4,000 a month because their home's paid off. At that point, all they do is pay for food, gas, insurance. They don't really have a lot to really spend on anymore, and they really didn't need any of that $1 million that they saved up. So they work so much for this arbitrary number of I need this because just in case, and that just in case isn't coming. As staying employees, you got your pension and Social Security. You have a solid foundation or a floor that covers most people's needs. And if you're not spending all of that money, anything you have saved above and beyond that is really just for fun. And you should utilize that as early as possible. If the whole point is, hey, I want to give this money to my kids, the best way to give money to kids is giving them inheritance through life insurance. You pass away, here's a check, it's completely tax-free. That way you're free to spend on your own money that you worked hard for and saved up, and you don't have to worry about the kids of the next generation. It's all set up through life insurance planning, right? So I'm sure we all know somebody that retirement was cut short because of an early death. Either they didn't get to retirement or they died very early on. I lost my grandmother when she was 62 years old. She just started collecting Social Security maybe 6 or 7 months prior, and then she passed away of a heart attack. Had she have delayed that decision of retiring collecting, she would not have seen a penny of it at all. She wouldn't have got those 6 or 7 months of enjoying those retirement years for her. So I'm always going to stress on the side of if you have the ability to retire, you should strongly consider to do it, at least in the sense that it gives you your time back. Now, I have many clients that did retire early from the state and they chose to go back to work because they found something they enjoy doing. They don't work for the state anymore. They do what they want. They're doing things that they truly enjoy. Their hobbies, they're working at local wineries, they started their own businesses. So they're doing things on their own terms, and that's completely fine. They still are considered in my book early retirees from the system because what they're doing is recreational employment. They're doing it because they want to, not because they have to. And if they wanted to go to Mexico for 6 months, they could always stop what they're doing and take off and enjoy their time. So early retirement gives you that freedom to pursue what you really want to do. Doesn't mean you have to sit and do nothing. I encourage people to do something because it keeps you active, and those people tend to live longer lives, find more meaningful lives as well. And I've been seeing more and more studies coming out linking early retirement to longer life. In other words, when people retire early and reduce the stresses in their life, they start doing what they truly enjoy, have time to prioritize their health, they live longer. So one of the things I kind of pride myself in our firm on is how early we are able to get people out. On average, we're adding 930 days to people's retirement plans. So in other words, when they come to talk to us, we get them out the door, sitting on their back porch, their front lawn, doing whatever they want for 930 extra days. And that's all because we understand how to work the system, the strategies involved in it, and how to make early retirement a complete possibility so they can strive and have the freedom to do things that they enjoy. So if you're approaching retirement and you have that mindset right now of, hey, maybe I do want to delay it for a little while, then I invite you to come and talk to us, and we'll see if we can help you feel better about your situation, showing you that early retirement not only is possible, but is very viable, and you could actually be losing money in addition to just losing time by working one more year. The bottom line is, as a state employee, retiring early is a very, very strong possibility because you have the guaranteed income floor of your pension Social Security. Unlike most people that don't have this, where they really have to rely on their savings and they tend to deplete their assets to get further retirement, so Washington State employees have the opposite effect. They have their baseline income, no matter what the market does, they always have a guaranteed income stream coming on, and their wealth typically grows as they get closer to retirement. And they often run into estate tax issues instead of I'm running out of money issues. That's the reality for most Washington State employees. Now, if you're in this bubble of, hey, I want to retire early, not sure about it, feel free to book a consultation with us. The link is in the description below. I always look forward to chatting with you guys. And until next time, remember that your future depends on what you do today.